Now, at the start of a new year, some people like to try and lose weight. Others decide to give up smoking or lay off the booze for a bit. And while yes, I know I should be ticking all those boxes, what I actually tend to do is indulge myself even further by waving goodbye to the missus, heading out the front door and finding a new place to fish. Not to write about it or test a product, not to catch the record fish in the lake or pretend to Fox that I'm working on the design for a revolutionary new swivelling bait thingy, but purely and simply for my own big, fat, selfish, personal entertainment. So this year I decided to blow away the cobwebs at a place called Boncross. And you know what? I ended up having such a memorable session, it ended up calling into question many long-held beliefs I had about carp fishing. And so, despite setting out to do anything but, I couldn't wait to get home and write articles about it. Funny how some things work out. So what drew me to Boncross? Well, it's a mature 4.5 acre gravel pit just outside Chelmsford in Essex. It's recently been taken over by Cleverley Fisheries, but had been run for years by a local angling club. Now here's where it gets interesting. The old club didn't allow any pre-baiting or the use of free offerings when you were actually fishing. And so there's fishing here that are 30 years old, which in any other lake would be massive, but not here. That's nuts, I thought. Biggest is best, I thought. It's certainly what me and half the carp world have been telling everyone for years. Well, why don't you watch this and see what you think? Having picked the brains of the locals, I discovered it's up to 30 feet deep. The fish tend to follow the wind, and when the sun comes out, you're very likely to see them feeding on the surface. Oh, and they like a dog biscuit as well, so it's well worth getting the mixers out. But with the sun well and truly in, all I could do was rely on the wind for a clue. So I set myself up downwind and waited. In vain, as it turned out, but then all of a sudden the sun came out. But still no fish. So I decided it was time to confound the critics and show them that carp anglers can actually use their legs by going for a walk. If they weren't feeding where we were on the back of the wind, there's every likelihood the carp are somewhere else. I've come round the other side of the lake, right onto the back of the wind, and straight away we've seen a group of maybe 20, 25 fish. About 10 of them. Well, we're going to have a little go for them on the surface, and I think it'll be interesting to know which sort of bait I'm using. In all of my carp fishing, I try and use various sizes of baits. It's enough to add an element of confusion to the baited area, and hopefully the carp will make a mistake with a hook bait. And very much the same with my surface fishing. And in the bucket, I've got your standard mixers, along with a load of Go-Cat, which are all different shapes and sizes, and actually smothered with fish oils, herring, salmon, tuna, all the things that carp love. Because of the different shapes and sizes of the bait, I'm going to put them in PVA bags and catapult them out that way. I can't just put them all in a pouch and send them out, because they'll go all over the place and they'll go at different distances. The ideal way is to put them into PVA bags. And I'm just drifting the bait in towards them. I don't know how they're going to react to it. Once they're feeding confidently, I'll get the rod in position and the landing net, and we'll see if we can bag one. All right, get yourself down, Chillcott. Oh, look at him. Can I squeeze him in there? Just to the left of my hook bait, bubbling away. Turn, you swine. Oh, look at that. I have his body out of the water. Oh, he's coming back again, but I don't know. That's definitely the area. Where's he gone? He's out there. Right, okay, we're cool. As long as I can get it to drift in, I think we're not disturbing them too much. Again, I'll just tweak that into position. Right on the edge of that wind. Well, they're definitely not going mad for them, but giving me just enough encouragement to keep going. Oh, there's one right there now. Oh no, swine! Ah! Oh dear. The controller was sailing merrily across the pond, and I just missed the unmissable bite. I didn't see anything spook off, so hopefully we're still in with a shout. Oh, he's just taken. Oh no, how the thing does it do that? Surface fishing. How to make yourself look a complete and utter buffoon in one easy lesson. Oh, I don't need much practice at that. Took my float, see it? So difficult to see out there. Bollocks. Got it. Oh yes. Oh no, it's come off. Damn. Damn. And I think I know what's happened. Pure and utter idleness on my part. There was a little wind knot in that hook link. Not very tight, but I undid it and sent it back out into the lake. And I've just paid the ultimate price. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to run to the bushes, swear like a trooper, and then we're going to come back and catch another one. So I'll take this opportunity just to talk you through the gear that I'm using today. First, and probably the most important item of tackle when you're stalking or surface fishing, is a pair of polarized sunglasses. There's little point in going stalking or surface fishing if you can't actually see them, and that is probably the greatest tool, along with your eyeball, you'll have in these circumstances. Okay, down to the business end. On my line is attached a 10-gram Exocet controller float, and you'll notice that it's fixed on the line, or semi-fixed on the line, via a very small leg clip. And surface fishing is hugely popular in the summer, and obviously at that time the weeds coming up, and the last thing you want, anything you attach to the line above your hook bait could potentially cause you problems and you could lose a fish. If this gets snagged up on the little lead clip, it simply pops off. Now, the beauty of this, when a lead comes off, it sinks to the bottom and you are never seeing it again. Because this is floating, it pops into the margins and you can simply retrieve it. Job's a good one. One other useful thing is that invariably carp will move away from the pressure when you're surface fishing. They'll move further and further out in the lake. And when they do, instead of having to change knots and re-tie your rig, you can simply attach a bigger controller. Just takes a couple of seconds. And you're back in the ball game. No problem whatsoever. Okay, the hook link itself is double strength. A pre-stretched line which makes its diameter incredibly thin, and obviously to a wary feeding surface fish, the less obvious we make it they're being fished for, the better. This hook link is 5 foot long and attached to an SSSP Armour Point size 9 hook. Now, if you're anything like me and you've got fish feeding on the surface, you tend to grow 10 Cumberland sausages for fingers. And the last thing I want to be doing is tying up a hair rig, to be quite honest with you. The invention of these little plastic mixers is absolutely fantastic. Whoever did it was a bit of a god, to be quite honest with you. They're plastic, and in the bottom is a little counterweight. And that weight will cock in the water, keeping the hook above the hook bait. Again, making it less obvious to the carp that they're being fished for. You just nick a little bit of it and make sure that the hook point is very, very exposed and it's not going to be hindered by lessening the gape of the hook. And nothing could be simpler. 9 times out of 10 they're still on the hook when you retrieve it, so you're not fiddling about looking for other ones. Surface fishing itself, you need to be using relatively light tackle, and to that end the rod and the reel and everything needs to be nicely balanced. If you're using very, very fine hook links, then the last thing you need is a big beefy old rod that could potentially snap the hook link. The rod I'm using today is a 12 foot 2 1/4 Aquos controller rod. Wonderfully light little rod, capable of punching a heavy controller a hell of a long way, but it's got a wonderful through action. And the reason for that will become clear in a second. A small Stratos FS 7000 reel. You don't need a big cumbersome reel that's really just going to get in the way. You need something that balances the outfit out, and the 7000 does that absolutely perfectly. Loaded with floater controller braid. A braid might conjure up sort of nightmares for some people when you're surface fishing, but it is actually a massive advantage by using it.